Today, Donald Trump is making a play for Connecticut, even though that state has not voted for a Republican for president since 1988.
But Trump's still also fanning the flames about comments he made about his Democratic rival and the suggestion that Hillary Clinton could be stopped by being shot.
If she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know.
Well, there was immediate backlash that included statements from lawmakers and Democratic supporters.
But Trump's campaign immediately denied the severity of his comments. The NRA used the speech calling for members to show up and vote against Clinton. So that's the distinction, right, that it's a Second Amendment issue rather than an implication. Joining us this morning to talk about the latest controversy is Bay Area Congressman Eric Swalwell.
Well, you had quite the response to this. What is Washington? How are they feeling about this? And to even throw that out into the wind?
I was very concerned because we've seen at these rallies many of Trump's supporters are people who have made vulgar and racist and violent statements. And when you have your party's leader essentially calling for someone to shoot Hillary Clinton is the only way to stop her, someone might take him at his word and take him up on it. So I called for the Secret Service to contact the Trump campaign. It sounds like they have, and hopefully this is the last time we see an insightful comment.
Yeah, you called on them to investigate, saying if someone makes a threat against a politician or someone like this, then they should be investigated. What about the idea, though, that, and here's your tweet on that, what about the idea that he was just saying, look, if you care about the Second Amendment and you're passionate about the Second Amendment, then you can go to the polls and you can vote. And maybe it wasn't meant in that tone.
And that would have been a fair statement, but what he said was if Hillary wins, there's nothing you can do. So he's already accepting that if she wins, she's there, nothing you can do. And then he said, well, maybe there is something you can do. And so he's talking after the fact.
After the fact.
And I think that's the distinction.
Do you think that he thought about what he was saying, or kind of getting known for just saying what's on the top of his head? Do you think he actually thought about it and said, I'm going to say this and I'm really going to start this up?
And who knows what Donald Trump is thinking, but you know, the words of a presidential candidate have an effect on those who listen. And just yesterday, the leader of Hezbollah announced and is putting out to their followers that, see, President Obama and Hillary Clinton did found ISIS, just as Donald Trump was saying. So, you know, he made that erroneous claim, which he now says was sarcasm, but our enemies are using it to boost and further their own propaganda. So words have meaning. Okay, well, let's move on. You're home, as you usually do, come home each weekend, and you had a couple of town hall meetings talking about gun violence and safety, and a young boy from Livermore, a 13-year-old boy, had a question for you. His name is Sean, and we want you to hear what he asked the congressman, and we'll get a little reaction, too. Here's Sean.
I'm wondering, Hillary Clinton is well known for her stance for boots on ground, no-fly zone in Syria, and I believe Tulsi Gabbard has been someone who has really been outspoken and tried to stop those things. So I just wanted to know your stance on interventionists and regime.
Your stance, interventionism, boots on the ground. I mean, that kid knew his stuff, and you were saying he took his dad there to...
Yeah, I thank the father for bringing his son to a town hall, and then the father said, no, he brought me. And, you know, you see a 13-year-old asking a question, you hope it's going to be a softball, and that was anything but a softball.
But you got to be impressed with this young boy. And he followed up with some other questions as well.
He did. It's inspiring to see young people so civically engaged. And, you know, it was uplifting after, you know, all the discord in Washington to come home and see your constituents. They're not there to call names or take pot shots from, you know, the gallery. They actually wanted to talk about the issues.
Well, do you think in terms of what is weighing heavily most in terms of the town hall and how people are feeling, where did you feel that people are kind of really resting heavy on?
Yeah, jobs and housing here. It's so expensive to live here. You know, I'm still renting, and I, you know, aspire to hopefully be a homeowner in the area where I grew up. And I heard from so many people yesterday that are having a hard time living near where they work, and it's really getting clogged up also out on the freeway. So we talked about our plan to get BART extended up the Altamont and connect with ACE, and hopefully that could take cars off the road. But it's really just local issues, jobs, housing, traffic.
Yeah, if you look at 580 at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, it's nothing but headlights. Yeah, really. People coming in from Tracy and all kind of thing. Yeah. Well, Congressman, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All the best.
Reach over, Frank.
All the best.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in. All right, time now is 8.